Hey, what's up, me the Guy01, and welcome to this week's WWE 2K20 Towers video. So, the first thing we gotta talk about is gonna be the main focus of this entire video. The Undertaker has officially retired from wrestling. It's the news that broke the internet and broke the entire wrestling world. Undertaker has officially retired, and this isn't in character, this is in story. Mark Calloway is not going to wrestle again. It was announced on the final episode of the Last Ride documentary series, where basically Taker said after WrestleMania 36 he has no desire to wrestle again. So yeah, he's done, and WWE have made sure that people realize this is real by posting a lot of stuff like thank you Taker stuff, all these tribute videos. So yeah, so I have a lot of thoughts. Of course, everyone knew it was going to happen sooner or later. In fact, most people assumed that it would be ending. Like, it would be ending this year. Like, he would be finished this year. But it's still pretty, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. It was never gonna be something people could take easily, because it's Undertaker. You never want to see him leave. So people knew that when he did, it was going to be hard for them to accept, but I just wish the circumstances around it were a lot better, especially for him. But I will say, I am glad he got to go out on his own terms, and it wasn't due to an injury that forced him to quit. He made the decision to do it himself, and he got his wish, I guess you could say. He got to do it when he wanted to do it, and he deserves that. I just really wish that there was an audience for his last Mania, or just his last match in general. He deserved to go out in front of a crowd. So yeah, that's just unfortunate that he didn't get to go out in front of a crowd, like a real crowd. But that's just the circumstances of our situation right now. So there's really nothing we can do. Is there really not Undertaker one? Come on. I mean, there's that one with Mankind, but you have to be Mankind for that. That one you have to be The Rock. We could do the Gauntlet over again. Do that? I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. Before we get into that, there's some other news to talk about before we get started. At least 20 people have tested positive for coronavirus now in WWE, which is, yeah, that's a lot. Among them were Renee Young, Jamie Noble, and their announcer, Kayla Braxton. So, a lot of backstage people, have on-camera personalities, so, and apparently several wrestlers also have tested positive, so that's not good. Alright, let's go with... It's like, who are we gonna play as? Undertaker, obviously. And I am gonna do something with Undertaker for versus also. Even though there is a birthday, I think people will be okay with me reserving that spot for Taker. Getting into Raw, um, Dolph Ziggler confronted Drew McIntyre, challenging him for a match at Extreme Rules, which it isn't actually called Extreme Rules. Well, it is, but it's not. Extreme Rules now is called Extreme Rules Horror House or Horror Night or something like that, and it's weird. I don't get it. So Nia Jax was out talking about how she felt it was unfair, how she's got screwed out of the title twice now. She was then interrupted by R-Truth, who was on his way, who was supposed to have a match with Akira Tozawa. Tozawa and his ninjas then showed up, chased Truth off. Then Charlotte came out to kind of confront Nia, and it ended up with two of them brawling. Well, Asuka then had a match with Charlotte for the women's title, which she won, which match she retained. And then backstage, Nia attacked Charlotte, crushing her arm but in a box. And everyone made the joke that Charlotte didn't sell it at all. She literally just grabbed her arm, didn't make a single sound. Nia screamed more than Charlotte did, like during it. Like it's like when the scream happened, I was like, oh, wow, Charlotte sounds different. But I was like, oh wait, that was Nia. Wait, no, why is she screaming? Why is Charlotte not screaming? What's going on here? So this has started the rumor that Charlotte will be taken out of action for a while, and that there's actually some other reason behind it. The Street Profits beat the Viking Raiders to retain the Raw Tag Team titles. In the match between R-Truth and Akira Tozawa for the 24/7 title, Bobby Lashley and MVP came out. Lashley took out most of the ninjas before taking out Truth, allowing Akira Tozawa to pin Truth to become 24/7 champion. I just realized I probably shouldn't be talking over Taker's entrance. Alright, Natalia beat Liv Morgan. Big Show confronted Randy Orton and Ric Flair, kind of calling them out for what they did to Edge and Christian. Orton then implied that he recognizes Big Show as a legend, which basically says that he's got a target on his back now. Sasha Banks and Bayley beat the Iconics to retain the tag team titles, and people have noticed that in the past few weeks, whenever they teamed up, Banks and Bayley, it's Banks who's the one who's gained the win. Apollo Crews was on the VIP lounge. Shelton Benjamin then came out. MVP distracted Crews, which allowed Shelton to take out Crews. They still had their match, which Apollo Crews won. No, I'm just gonna let this entrance run. We're gonna have to cut Edges short though. What wallpaper? And then the final segment of the night, Seth Rollins, Buddy Murphy, and Austin Theory confronted Rey Mysterio and Dominic, and Seth said that either Mysterio or Dominic were going to be sacrificed that night. Then Aleister Black and Humberto Carrillo came out to try to fight them off. But then Buddy Murphy and Austin Theory grabbed grabbed Ray and held him back, while Seth grabbed Dominic and looked like he was about to, shove his eye into the ring step like he did with Ray. Thankfully, Black and Humberto came out to stop that and chased all three of them off with steel chairs. So that whole segment was actually pretty entertaining because I actually didn't know where they were going to go with it. There was a moment where I thought they might actually, go all the way with Dominic and have him, I don't know, lose an eye or something. And let's get into SmackDown. SmackDown was definitely an Undertaker-centered show. He didn't appear once, but the majority of the show was basically a tribute to Undertaker. With a recap of his career, a bunch of legends talking about him, a bunch of highlights from his career, his debut. So yeah, it was definitely all about Undertaker, and I'm glad they did that on SmackDown because SmackDown really was Undertaker's show. Matches wise, Nikki Cross beat Lacey Evans, Dana Brooke, and Alexa Bliss to get a shot at Bayley at Extreme Rules for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Baron Corbin came out and basically just insulted Taker, which that's how you get a negative reaction, especially on that night. It's like, dude, that's like, why do you have to do that? Couldn't you just let this night be about Taker in a positive way? Why'd you have to use the fact that he's retiring to, get heat on someone? So Jeff Hardy then ran out to attack Corbin for, trash talking Taker. Braun Strowman called out Bray Wyatt for a match at the Swamp. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so Braun called out Bray for a match at the Swamp, where apparently was where they first met at Extreme Rules. The Lucha House Party, New Day beat Miz, Morrison, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro. Yeah. Going for a chokeslam, boys. Here we go. Yeah. And in the main event, see what I mean? Not that many matches. I think there was only 3 or 4. I think there was 3 matches and 2 segments that weren't Undertaker related. But yeah, in the main event, Jeff beat Corbin with the entire face locker room at ringside. Afterwards, Corbin attacked Jeff. Kofi ran in to try to help, but Corbin took out Kofi. But Big E was able to hit the big ending on Corbin. After that, Braun hit Corbin with the running power slam, and then Matt Riddle hit his was it flying bro or something on Corbin as well. And the night ended with Hardy doing Undertaker's signature pose towards a picture of Taker on the big screen, kind of paying tribute to him. So yeah. So remember what I said a few weeks ago? I probably brought it up many times, but I kind of predicted that Undertaker would officially retire at Survivor Series, so that way they could perfectly make it exactly 30 years of service in WWE. Well, it turns out I was wrong, but you know what? If he doesn't want to get in the ring, he makes that decision. No one makes it for him, and retiring when he did proves that. What I just find funny is that they knew about the fact that that was his last match for a while. I mean, at least since Mania. because that whole Last Ride documentary, it went from, I mean, it went far as back as Raw 25. So they knew since, maybe not known since back then, but they knew since, well, the whole point of the Last Ride was like building up to Undertaker's last match, or when is he going to have his last match. Just to find out that he already had it. But they made sure to get the documentary so you could get the behind the scenes of his last match whenever it came. So they knew since Raw 25 that the end was near. And then WrestleMania 36 happened, which was his last match. They all knew it, but they had to keep that a secret for a few months, which I'm surprised he did. And I'm also glad that he won his last match, because again, he really did deserve to win it. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Uh-oh. Ow. Ow. No. Oof. I don't know what I did there, but apparently it worked. Alright, here we go. Not going for a choke slam. Oh. Alright, here we go. Nope. I didn't even get the thing, like, to reach. I just had to guess which button it was. Get down. That's alright. Stay down, Edge. Come on. There we go. Yay. The one thing Undertaker never did. Win Money in the Bank. Yep. Well, hope you guys enjoyed that video. What are your thoughts on the Undertaker's retirement? Was it a good way to go out? What do you think? How did you think he was going to go out? Like, what did you think his last match would be? What are your favorite Undertaker memories? Just let's keep this all Taker related. Or what did you guys think of Raw? What did you guys think of the SmackDown, tribute to him? Let me know. Guy01 and the Phenom, the Dead Man, the Undertaker, signing out. Bye, guys.